everyone. Welcome to Monday's Morbid Minute, a brand new weekly bonus episode of Mother Knows Death. This is your quick rundown of the week's most fascinating stories involving death, disease, medicine, and injury, making headlines and rippling through the pop culture. We'll tease the cases here, then we'll do a deep dive into the pathology, forensics, and medical mysteries later on in our normal Mother Knows Death episodes, in articles over in the Gross Room, and during our weekly YouTube Live bonus episode exclusively for Gross Room members. If it's dark, disturbing, medically bizarre, or just too good not to dissect, you'll hear it first on Monday's Morbid Minute. Okay, we are going to start off with some true crime and court cases. Of course, today is Groundhog's Day, and we feel like this first case has been on repeat for decades. One of the biggest stories this week is the U.S. Department of Justice released more than 3 million pages of previously withheld documents related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, fulfilling the requirements of the newly passed Epstein Files Transparency Act. This massive trove includes thousands of pages of emails, images and videos, flight logs, search warrants, and investigative material from long-running federal probes in Florida and New York. And as expected, the released material showed disturbing communications and images involving celebrities and prominent figures. We have an update on a story we brought you a few weeks ago on Mother Knows Death. In Miami, a family of a 32-year-old woman has filed a wrongful death lawsuit seeking more than $50 million after their loved one was discovered dead inside of a walk-in freezer at a Dollar Tree store. The lawsuit states that Dollar Tree was negligent in failing to prevent the woman from accessing the store's freezer, and that the store's manager was notified that the woman was missing and had not exited the store. In Southern California, a truly horrifying near miss was captured on video when a 19-month-old toddler was ejected from an SUV at an intersection. Dashcam footage shows the vehicle turning when the front passenger door suddenly opens and the child is thrown onto the roadway. Drivers behind the vehicle braked and swerved to avoid running over the toddler. Witnesses later reported the footage to police, who tracked down the vehicle and arrested the child's mother on suspicion of felony child abuse. We talked about this on our bonus episode last week in the Gross Room, and one of our members' friends was actually a witness to this case. The toddler survived with non-life-threatening injuries. In Illinois, 30-year-old Eliza Morales, who was 5 months pregnant, was fatally stabbed approximately 70 times in her apartment during what was meant to be a routine Facebook marketplace meetup connected to the sale of a pickup truck. After the assault, investigators say he set the apartment on fire, creating an additional life-threatening hazard for neighbors and first responders. The family dog was also stabbed but survived after escaping. The suspect now faces charges including first-degree murder, homicide of an unborn child, aggravated arson, and animal cruelty. We have another online meetup horror story, this time in South Carolina, where authorities say 40-year-old Dana Kinlaw was lured into a rural location under the pretense of buying a puppy, only to be ambushed and killed. Deputies responding to reports of a vehicle fire discovered her body inside of a burning car. Investigators allege it may be a retaliation killing connected to a previous homicide in a nearby county that may have involved her son. 3 individuals have been arrested and charged with murder, first-degree arson, and weapons offenses. In New York City, federal authorities arrested a 36-year-old Minnesota man named Mark Anderson after he allegedly tried to break homicide suspect Luigi Mangione out of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn by impersonating an FBI agent. Anderson reportedly walked into the jail's intake area claiming he had a judge-signed order to release Mangione, who was awaiting trial for the high-profile killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. But when staff asked for credentials, he showed them a regular driver's license and random paperwork. Officials say Anderson told officers he had weapons in his bag, and he later found items including a barbecue fork and a circular blade resembling a pizza cutter. He was charged with impersonating a federal officer and taken into custody. And a 41-year-old man from the UK is suing the NHS, which is UK's public health system, after what should have been 6 months of chemotherapy that turned into more than 8 years of brutal treatment, leaving him with permanent brain and vision damage, cognitive impairment, and total dependence on his parents for daily care. Doctors gave him a powerful chemo drug far beyond clinical guidance, and the legal claim said that the prolonged unnecessary therapy, combined with delayed scans and surgical errors, ruined his life. In pop culture and celebrity news, of course, we are all shocked this week when we learned that actress Catherine O'Hara died at 71 years old. In the Gross Room this week, we are going to cover her for our celebrity death dissection, and we'll focus on her very rare, unusual condition that Catherine O'Hara was born with. And of course, we'll talk about her death more in detail later in episodes on Mother Knows Death. Television personality Jon Gosling from Jon and Kate Plus 8 revealed he suffered a bilateral pulmonary embolism. The 48-year-old felt grueling pain in his legs, which later moved to his shoulders, and then he really felt something was wrong when he had a coughing fit and coughed up something that looked like silly putty. We will talk about his condition more and why he might have gotten a pulmonary embolism later this week. All I have to say is he is very lucky to be alive. Singer and reality TV personality Ray J revealed in late January 2026 that he is facing serious heart problems after being hospitalized with pneumonia and chest pain. He shared on social media that his heart is only functioning at about 25% capacity, well below the typical range, and that doctors have told him that he may only have months to live unless his condition improves. Ray J attributed the damage to years of alcohol and substance abuse, saying that he once felt invincible, but now must take multiple medications and follow strict medical guidance. New legal filings in a civil lawsuit against Bill Cosby have brought renewed attention to his past deposition testimony about Quaaludes, a powerful sedative popular in the 1960s and 70s. According to newly surfaced court documents, Cosby admitted under oath that he refilled a prescription for Quaaludes 7 times with the stated intention of giving the pills to women before sexual encounters, but he never took the pills himself. The testimony came in a lawsuit filed by Donna Motzinger, who alleges that Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted her in 1972. She claims he handed her a pill that she believed was aspirin and which she lost consciousness afterwards. The disclosure has reignited scrutiny of Cosby's conduct in the early years of his career, though Cosby's representatives contest interpretations of the deposition and emphasize that there are no criminal charges that have resulted directly from the recent filings. And former Today Show anchor Matt Lauer is back in the headlines as Brooke Neville's, the former NBC producer whose 2017 complaint led to his firing, is publishing a memoir titled Unspeakable Things: Silence, Shame, and the Stories We Choose to Believe. In the book, Neville's revisits her allegation that Matt Lauer raped her in a hotel room during the 2014 Winter Olympics, a claim he has long denied, asserting instead that their relationship was consensual. In medicine and health news, federal food safety officials have issued a massive safety recall of nearly 2,000 products after an FDA inspection of a Minnesota storage facility run by Gold Star Distribution found rodent urine, feces, and bird droppings in areas where products were stored, meaning that these items have been exposed to pee and poop and harmful bacteria like Salmonella. Among the potentially contaminated products are snacks like Pringles and Skittles, breakfast cereals like Cheerios and Rice Krispies, beverages such as Coca-Cola and Gatorade, over-the-counter medications like Advil and Tylenol, personal care items including Axe body spray and Q-tips, and even pet food like Fancy Feast and Purina. Authorities are urging consumers to destroy any effective items immediately rather than return them to stores because of their serious contamination risk, and to seek medical or veterinary care if exposure causes symptoms. A story out of the UK captured widespread attention when a woman revealed that she grew a fully formed third breast after having a baby, complete with its own nipple and areola. I will definitely have more to say about this later in the week. In research news, scientists at the University of Pennsylvania are studying an antiviral chewing gum that may help trap and neutralize viruses like influenza and herpes simplex in saliva. And a man in England who lost his thumb underwent a toe-to-thumb transplant. Surgeons amputated his toe, rerouted blood vessels, nerves, and tendons so his toe could now function as a thumb, restoring his grip. You know we humans need our opposable thumbs. In freak accident and unexpected death news, in Texas, 3 young brothers, ages 3, 5, and 7, died after falling through ice on a frozen body of water. According to authorities, the children were playing outside when they ventured into what appeared to be safe ice, but gave way beneath them, plunging into the icy water. Despite swift rescue attempts by family and first responders, all 3 boys succumbed to hypothermia and drowned. And in Lexington, Kentucky, a 32-year-old woman died of hypothermia due to environmental exposure during the recent severe winter storm that hit the region. Her death was ruled accidental and weather-related. There are local social media claims circulating that she called an Uber to take home during the severe winter storm, but she may have selected an old address that was still saved in her rideshare app, leading the driver to drop her off at the wrong location. There is also a claim she left her phone in the vehicle, leaving her without a way to call for help after being dropped off. Shortly afterwards, she was found outside in dangerously cold conditions and later died of hypothermia due to environmental exposure. However, authorities have not confirmed the rideshare address mix-up or the phone detail in their statements. In other death news, this is our last story involving a disturbing domestic incident in Texas, which led to the arrest of Nathaniel Garcia, 26 years old, after police say he did something almost unimaginable during an argument with his girlfriend. According to investigators, Garcia allegedly took the woman's late father's cremated remains and dumped the ashes in a backyard without her knowledge or permission. Authorities say the ashes have not been recovered, leaving the family without their loved one's remains. He is now charged with abuse of a corpse. And that's it for this week's Monday's Morbid Minute. For full breakdowns of these stories, plus any breaking news that develops, be sure to tune in to this week's regular Mother Knows Death podcast and check out the Gross Room. Don't forget to subscribe to us on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. And while you're there, leave us a review. We would love to hear what you have to say. If you see a story you want us to cover or have questions or comments, email us at stories@motherknowsdeath.com. Thank you for listening to Mother Knows Death. As a reminder, my training is as a pathologist assistant. I have a master's level education and specialize in anatomy and pathology education. I am not a doctor and I have not diagnosed or treated anyone, dead or alive, without the assistance of a licensed medical doctor. This show, my website, and social media accounts are designed to educate and inform people based on my experience working in pathology so they can make healthier decisions regarding their life and well-being. Always remember that science is changing every day and the opinions expressed in this episode are based on my knowledge of those subjects at the time of publication. If you are having a medical problem, have a medical question, or are having a medical emergency, please contact your physician or visit an urgent care center, emergency room, or hospital. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Mother Knows Death on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get podcasts. Thanks.